So this is looking good. So let's get some materials on these walls, floor and ceiling. And lucky for us, Cosmos has loads of materials built in that we can use straight out of the box, or we can modify them if we need. And these are going to be great for whilst we're adding our lighting. So let's go to materials and let's go to the wall category. And we have this white wall here, which looks pretty good to me. I've already downloaded it. If you haven't, you can hit download and notice this drop down arrow. And from here, we can turn on real world mapping. Now, real world mapping is important as it gives us the ability to work using units of measurement, and these match those of the real world, for example, centimeters. And it keeps the proportions of the model or the material similar to the real world, and it means we don't have to worry about scaling, and this will make sure our renders are true to life. Notice this blue dot, that means that real world mapping is on, and that's going to remain on unless we turn it off. And you can also see here it's 150 centimeters. And what this means is the texture that's used is 150 centimeters in the real world. So let's select our walls and click import. And then we're going to see that material applied to our walls. And notice they look funny, they look a bit stretched, and this is because we used Smart Extrude to stretch our walls around, and that means the mapping has gone awry. So we can fix this with a UVW map. So we can find the UVW map by clicking on the modifier list, and these are all the modifiers you can apply to your objects. And there's quite a lot of them, but as I've mentioned before, you'll likely only use about 20% of these regularly, so don't worry too much, don't get overwhelmed by these. And the fastest way to find something in this list is just press the first letter of what you're looking for, and we can select UVW map. Before we continue, you may have noticed these two buttons I've got set up here, and this is because I use these modifiers often, and it saves time by having them within reach. And you can set yours up by clicking the configure modifier button here, and you can see there's loads of presets you can choose from, or we can configure our own modifier set. And in this pop-up, we have the list of all the modifiers, and we can add buttons or remove them. Now, I've set ours to 2, and then all you have to do is come over here and drag and drop. So I use Edit Poly quite a lot, and also let's press U. Oh, I missed it. There it is, and we can drag that onto our second button. And then you can just type in your name and hit save and OK. And then you can select your buttons from the list, and then just make sure you have show buttons ticked on, and then you've got these quick access buttons here. Now back to our UVW map, and currently this is on planar and Z, and this means the texture is getting projected from one plane in the Z, which is why it looks almost stripy, because it's getting stretched down. And all we need to do to fix this is turn it onto box, and then we'll have it projected out from a box onto all sides. And just confirm you've got real world map size on as well. And if we zoom in, we can start to see the texture tile at 150 centimeters on the wall. So let's do the same for the ceiling. But as we've done this before, we can actually copy this modifier by right clicking and hitting copy. And then let's select our ceiling. We can paste this on. And back in Cosmos, I'm just going to hit import. And we now have that material on our ceiling. Now let's get a material on this floor. And again, I'm going to use the same UVW map. We haven't really modified the floor, but it's just to make sure. So back in Cosmos, let's go to wood flooring and select our floor. I quite like the look of this one. So we can download this. And you can see we've still got real world on. And we can just hit import. We can see that come into our render.